Chapter 15. The Will of the Merchant. Once upon a time, there lived a merchant in India. He was very wealthy. He had only one son, whom he loved very much. The son grew up to become a bright young man. He liked to read good books and learn new things. At the age of 20, the merchant sent him to Greece to study. While he was away, the merchant fell ill. He knew that his end was near. He didn't want to disturb his son in his studies. Moreover, he had very little time, and in any case, he would not be able to see his son. He was too worried about his property and wealth. There was no one in the house except his servant. He was in a dilemma, whether his servant would honestly look after his property for his son or not. However, there was no other way. He thought for a while and then decided to make a bequest. In his bequest, he gave all his property to his servant and did not leave anything for his son. He included a clause at the bottom of the bequest, which said, "My son can take one thing from my property." Whoever heard of the bequest was amazed. After a few days, the merchant died. The servant was now the owner of his master's property. He took good care of it. After some days, Hiralal, the merchant's son, came to know of his father's death. With a sad heart, he came back home. He was shocked to see his father's bequest, in which he had given all the property to his servant. Hiralal knew very well how much his father loved him and was puzzled at his decision. He was sure that there must be some reason behind his decision. He went to Sudhir, who was a wise man and his father's friend. He showed the bequest to him and said, "My father loved me very much. I was very close to him. Then why did he give everything to the servant?" Sudhir listened to him patiently and nodded. Hiralal expressed his grief and said that now he would have to work for his father's servant. Sudhir took the bequest from his hands, had a close look at it, and read it carefully. Your father loved you very much. He had thought wisely before making his bequest. Read the last line and you will come to know what he wanted you. That he wanted you to be his heir. Sudhir said. Hiralal replied, "I have read the bequest. The last line says that I can take one thing from my father's property. As per the law of the land, the master has full right over the property of the servant. As you are the heir of his property, you can ask for the servant. You shall then inherit all your father's property," said Sudhir. Hiralal heaved a sigh of relief. "Ah, now I know why my father made this bequest. He gave all his property to the servant so that he should not waste the money and look after it well. My father, I'm sure, wanted me to inherit his property." "Of course he did," replied Sudhir with a smile.